How's the cop doing there? Yeah. I gotta go there. I gotta go this way. You're looking at 6'3", 210 pounds, packing 9. Woo! BERGS Show is packing. Some heat. Look at this Noodles character, huh? What a loser he is, huh? This Scamillo. This Dork 25. LA June, light it up. I'm working right now. BERGS is working right now. Light it up for the working man, huh? LJ June, I'll give you a wrench. Light it up, huh, for the working man. Huh? Look at those arms, look at that hair. That's right. Only BERGS can wear this sombrero, folks. Nobody else can wear it. I trademarked it. If they wear it, it's copyright infringement. And I can sue them. They can go to jail. Woo! Bobby, New Jersey. Airball. Airball. Seattle Mariners lost again today, man. Got swept. Fucking by the Baltimore Orators. At home. What a bunch of scumbags. Line it up, folks. For the BERGS. Bob, New Jersey. Airball. Airball. Yeah, I'm going to go back there later. I'm going to heckle all those people. These people can't shoot hoops. These people can't play tennis, Bob, New Jersey. This Noodles guy can't play any sports. What a loser. Noodles, what a loser he is. What a loser Noodles is. Such a loser. What a loser he is. Air ball. Air ball. Air ball. You ain't got no hair like that, Noodles, huh? Air ball. You ever seen such a great looking man? Huh? Air ball. We got Yeah Man making about $50 an hour. Hey Yeah Man, I'm moving in with you. Get me a job. Still think I can put in 30 years at my age? I'm your age. I'll be working till I'm 81, 82, We got this, Yeah Man, who eats a big Chipotle burrito every day. What's up with this bird character, huh? Woo! Look at the Bergs there, huh? That's from 5 years ago, folks. Look at the Bergs there, huh? With the perfect Seattle Mariner beanie hat. With the scarf. Remember my scarf collection, folks? I got that one. I got the white one. I got the Seattle Seahawks scarf. Look at them sunglasses. Those are broken by now. So I buy them cheap sunglasses, you know? Cheap sunglasses. Bergs, you ain't no 5'9". I am 6'3", 210 pounds. Look at me right there, David Baldo. Light it up. Bob, New Jersey. Show them how it's done. You sent $9? It ain't showing no $5 donation. What are you talking about? Only one person donated. Bob, New Jersey. Well, it would have shown up, brother. Light it up there, Bob, New Jersey. Air ball. Noodles is 5'2", 295 pounds. Bergs is 6'3" and 210 pounds. Air ball. What about this Noodles character, What about this Toodles, What about this Toodles character, What about this Bergs, What about this Bergs character, You ain't got no style like I do. What about this Bob, New Jersey, No, seriously though, man. I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. Can you guys see the picture of me in my car, in my old car? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Look at that picture, Toodles. Bob, New Jersey, look at that picture. Put it on the board, Bob. If I'm way better looking than Noodles. That was from 2020, folks. That was 5 years ago. Put that on the board, Look at that beard. Look at them chubby cheeks. Look at that. Look at them sunglasses. My hair was long back then. It was all one length down to my chin. Pull it back in the beanie cap. Look at that beard. Look at that scarf. You ain't got no scarf like that, Noodles, you ain't got no scarf like that. You ain't got no fleece pullover like that. You ain't got no sunglasses like that. You ain't got no mustache like that. You ain't got no beard like that, You ain't got no perfect nose like that. Look at that nose. Noodles has a very smashed in nose. Put it on the board for Noodles' smashed in face. Noodles, it looks like your face was ran over by an 18-wheel truck. You got a pancake face. Or one of those big rollers when they put pavement down. Those things weigh about 100,000 pounds. And it looks like that rolled over your head. $5 from LJ June. Noodles, you ain't getting lit up. LJ June's lighting me up. He had to update his card, folks. We got Toodles in here. Toodles is going to light it up. Look at the Bergs, folks. You can't deny greatness. Look at that picture from my old 1996 Saturn. In probably the middle of the winter, baby. January or February. This was right before the pandemic hit. No, I am not watching the NBA Finals tonight because the New York Knicks aren't in it. I would watch it if the Knicks were in it, baby. I hate the Indiana Pacers. And who are they playing? They're playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, folks. And the Thunder stole our basketball team up here in Seattle, the Seattle Supersonics, in 2008. A team that was here for 40 years. So I guess I'd be rooting for the Indiana Pacers, but I'm not going to sit there and watch a game for 3 hours when I can go live and shred your faces off for 3 hours. How about that? What do you think of that, huh? No, we don't like the Oklahoma City Thunder because you guys stole our team. You can put that on the board, folks. We got the BERGS Show here. We got Bob, New Jersey. Air ball. Air ball. We got this Noodles guy. Can you believe David James gave $500 to crying Cindy Lopez the other day? Crying Cindy Lopez. Lydia, light it up. 5'7", 376. What do you mean? I'm 6 feet tall. 245. All right, Lydia, I'll give you a wrench. I'll play along. Folks, Lydia is very tall for a girl. I believe Lydia is 5'10". But Lydia is Polish. So she started pumping out the kids when she was 18 years old. And now she's been 29 for the last 10 years. That makes her 39. So Lydia's got about 4 or 5 kids. Okay? Lydia's got about 4 or 5 kids. And she was never able to lose the baby weight. So Lydia has very, very big hips. She's a breeder. She's a breeder, all right, folks. Do not have sex with Lydia. If you do, she's gonna call you up a month later and say, "Hey, guess what? I'm pregnant." She's gonna say, "Hey, Noodles, guess what? What? I'm pregnant." And Noodles gonna go click, lose my number, and then Noodles gonna change his number. Okay? That's what she's gonna do because she's a breeder. She's 100% Polish. These Polish broads are breeders. Lydia is the only one I know on YouTube who's been 28, 29 for the last 10 years. Bob, New Jersey, she's a breeder. She's a breeder, Bob. Bob, all I'm going to say is if you have sex with Lydia, make sure to wear a condom. If she gets pregnant like that, bam, just like that. $2 from Big Bob in New Jersey. Lydia is a breeder, folks. A breeder. She's one of these types of women that has 15 or 20 kids, okay? Yeah. Yep. She's also been 29 years old since I've known her, since 2015. How can you be 29 for 10 years? Lydia's a breeder, folks. She's a breeder. And she's a professional student. You know, like Molasses, the horse. Ooh. Ooh. Lydia is a professional student. She's always going to school. But she never graduates. You know why? Because she keeps having kids. Woo! Toodles. Toodles knows what I'm talking about, huh? 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 Hey, Bob, New Jersey. Air ball. Air ball. No, I'm not watching the game tonight. You guys watching the game? Let me tell you something. The NBA did not want 2 small market teams to be in the finals. Indiana and Oklahoma City. They wanted the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers or the Golden State Warriors. They wanted 2, large market teams. They don't want, that's how the NBA rolls. They don't want little small market teams. Because you know why? Because no one's going to watch. I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch cockfighting matches. Woo! This noodles, huh? Seriously though, this noodles, according to John Camillo, noodles is 5'5", 325 pounds. Put it on the board, folks. Noodles, you are nothing but trash. Allegedly. This Lydia is never going to light it up. She's a breeder. This Lydia is a breeder, folks. You know, some women are not breeders. This Lydia is a breeder. Don't have casual sex with her. You're going to be getting a call in about a month. Hey, remember me? Yeah, remember we met at the library? And you took me in the parking lot behind the Taco Bell? And you bought me 2 soft tacos and a bean burrito? Yeah. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm pregnant. That's Lydia right there, folks. That's Lydia for you. Woo! Whoops. Guess what, Noodles? You're going to be a daddy. All right, folks. I got to go do a couple things here. You know, I got like 4 different jobs. I got to go do something right quick. And I'll be back in about I would say 2 hours go live. Hour and a half, hour and a half, hour and a half. Then we'll be jamming all night. Bergs is at Edmonton Oilers or Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers. Bob, New Jersey, put it on the board for the Florida Panthers. Woo! Hey, Bob, you sent me an email on my About page. Give me your address. I got a bunch of hockey fight DVDs from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Like compilation DVDs. And I'll send them to you for free because you're a big donator. Bob, New Jersey. Woo! The Florida Panthers, baby. Is that the NHL Finals? Seabreeze. I heard you're dating John Camillo. What about this John Camillo character? What about this Dave 25? What about all these weirdos? The Oilers, woo! I know, but I kind of like the Panthers back in the day. How old are you? How old are you, Bob? Hodder's in the house. Bob, how old are you? How old are you? I grew up playing ice hockey. How old are you? I'll be 52 next month. How old are you? Hodder's in here, the greatest beard. We got Mojo Jojo, the greatest rock historian on the history, in the history of the world. 6'3", 210, 9-inch cock. Wait, how old are you again, Bob? Oh yeah, you're 48. So you're only a few years younger than me. Do you remember when the Florida Panthers, they started in like 1993, in the early 90s? And they were playing at the Miami Arena? It was like a small arena in Miami that sat like 13,000 people, but that place would be fucking jumping. 14,000 people, sold out every night. And in the 90s, when they would score a goal, all the fans would throw these rats, these plastic rats, out on the ice. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? So and the Florida Panthers had a couple good tough guys. One named Paul Laus, Laus. Look it up. Paul, Paul, Laus, Laus. Great fighter. They had another guy named Ed Jovanowski. Ed Jovanowski. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, the Edmonton Oilers were good, yeah, back in the 80s with Wayne Gretzky. But that's Canada, folks. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. And also, back in those days, Bob, New Jersey, in the 90s, the Florida Panthers had as their goaltender John Van Beesbrook, who was the New York Rangers goaltender in the 80s. When I was growing up, I was a big New York Ranger fan. John Van Beesbrook. Look him up there. Huh? Van Beesbrook. VANBIESBROOK. John. Yeah, Bob, New Jersey. Remember John Van Beesbrook? Woo! Yeah, they had a lot of good players. Wait, so the Stanley Cup Finals, when does it start? Uh, 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 uh. You see, I grew up in Maplewood, New Jersey. I was born in 1973. I grew up skating on the frozen ponds. I grew up skating when I was 8, 9 years old. I grew up skating on the frozen ice of the ponds during the winter time. And I learned how to play hockey that way. And then we would play pickup hockey at the South Mountain Arena in Livingston, New Jersey, when the ice wasn't frozen. You have to understand, this was back in the 1980s when things were very cold in New Jersey. It's not like now, global warming, everything's warmed up. We had 3 solid months in the winter, about 2.5 months in the wintertime in New Jersey when I grew up in the 80s, of solid ice on the frozen ponds in my town and neighboring towns. So I would get for Christmas ice skates, Bauer ice skates, hockey stick, gloves, a helmet, all sorts of shit. That's pretty much all you need. Because, when you're playing pond hockey, you're not fighting. However, I did get in a couple tussles, folks. And the Bergs, I don't back down from anybody. See, Noodles, he has no ability to play sports. Plus, on top of that, I was playing soccer, which is American football. I was playing soccer on soccer teams, wrestling during the wintertime, lacrosse in the springtime. Let me tell you something, tennis, golf, any sport you can think of, baby. Yeah, it barely snows there anymore. You should look at the fucking at the picture albums from where I grew up in New Jersey, Essex County, New Jersey, with my 3 brothers and 2 sisters. You should look at we had a big house, long driveway. You should look at the fucking, because my parents would have all of us out there shoveling. That's when I started making a few bucks, 10, 11, 12 years old, knocking on people's doors. Hey, you need your you need your walkway shoveled? They wouldn't give you shit. $2, $5. It all adds up, huh? I got fucking pictures in the photo albums from the 1980s of our driveway with mounds of snow on each side, probably 4 or 5 feet high. It doesn't snow anymore. It's global warming. Huh? Why do you think here on June 5th in north of Seattle, it's already 80 degrees Fahrenheit? It never used to be like that. It always would rain in fucking cold and rainy until like the first couple weeks of July. Let me tell you something. Bergs is a New Jersey sports legend. I am. Camillo doesn't play any sports. Noodles doesn't play any sports. These people are losers. Do you know that Noodles was in the special ed classes? Even though he wasn't even special ed. He rode the little yellow school bus for 12 years. Who knows if Camillo even went to school? Sounds like he was born in a cave. He's a troglodyte. Same with his Dave 25 character. What about this Dave 25 character? And now we got fires already in Canada, and they're blowing smoke down here. It's not really affecting us here in Washington State yet, but it's kind of early in the season for this shit to be happening. This would never have happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. The bottom line is this. And the car I have is a nice car, but the air conditioning doesn't work that well. I tried to get it fixed a few years ago, but they couldn't find a part. Because this is a Saturn. Saturn went belly up, out of business. Actually, the fucking mechanic still owes me some work. So the bottom line is this, folks. When I grew up in New Jersey, there were 4 seasons. The summertime was hot and humid. Brutal. We had a town pool, Olympic-sized swimming pool, and then another pool, which was called the diving tank, which was about 20 feet deep, 30 feet deep, with 3 sets of springboard diving boards, just like in the Olympics, and then towers, just like in the Olympics, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. And then there was a training pool for toddlers and then a baby pool for little kids, little babies. So we go to the pool a lot. That's how I learned how to swim. Noodles can't even swim. Put it on the board, Bob, New Jersey. Noodles is afraid of water. He can't even swim. You come out here, Mojo, I'll take you to Jimi Hendrix's grave in Renton, Washington. I'll take you to Chris Cornell's grave. I'll take you to Kurt Cobain's house where he committed suicide. This fucking Noodles can't even swim. When I was growing up in New Jersey, we had 4 distinct seasons. The summer was brutally hot and humid. The fall, you'd have an Indian summer sometimes. Sometimes you could wear shorts in November. But then it would turn and you'd have a very cold, frigid, snowy winter. It's where I learned how to skate on the ponds. Springtime would spring, and I got bad allergies, all the pollen, everything's blooming. And then back to summer, and you do it again. You do it again. You do it again. Not anymore, folks. Not anymore. They don't have 4 seasons in New Jersey anymore. We were able to have a cold enough winter where we would keep an ice pack on the pond, which was like a 6 to 8 feet deep pond, a good 6-7 inch of ice for a good 2 months. I'd be down there every day skating. That's how I learned how to skate. It's where I learned my love for hockey. These people. Not anymore. Not anymore. Maybe if you live in that part of New Jersey where I live in, maybe you might get a week or 2 of ice. We used to get 2 to 3 months of ice. Put that on the board, huh? And we were kids, so even though the summer were hot and humid, I wasn't a fat kid. I might be fat now. I wasn't a fat kid at all. So the heat really didn't affect me. But we had those window air conditioner units. But most of the time, we'd be out, especially during the summertime, especially when I turned 12, maybe 12, 13, because we had a private golf course in my town, Maplewood Country Club. Look it up. Maplewood Country Club, Maplewood, New Jersey. Look it up. And we would caddy. You know what a caddy is? CADDY. Look it up. Bob, New Jersey, I was a caddy. Put it on the board. You think Noodles was ever a caddy? I played a lot of golf, and I would do a double loop, meaning I would hold 2 bags, and I was undersized for my age. Very strong, though. So it means you hold the person's bag, their golf club bag, while they're playing golf. These old rich fucks. So you carry 1 bag, it'd be like $20 plus tip. A typical 18-hole round will be about 2 to 2.5 hours. And they, depending on how generous they were, they might give you a $5, $10, $15, $20 tip. But I would hold 2 bags so I could follow 2 golfers. It's called a double loop. So 20 and 20, that's 40 cash plus tip. So you get, let's say you get another 30 bucks in tips. Hey, that's $70 in cash. You're 13, 14 years old. That's a lot of money for 1986, 87. That's a lot of money. And then we would go to the pool to chill out, to cool down. Do this every day, and then I had cash, you know. I come from a big family, so, you know, so I use the money to buy things that I needed, you know. My parents supplied us with all the stuff that we needed, your clothes, your shoes, everything you need. But the extras, you learned from a young age, you got to work for it. You know? And it's the bottom line. Like my love of music and buying record albums, you know? That was all my extra income from working, baby. Working. You know what a caddy is? Hey, you ever been a caddy, Bob, New Jersey? Hey, Bob, light it up right now. Noodles could never be a caddy. See, first off, you need to know stuff about golf. Okay? You need to know different things about golf. And I was already a golfer for several years. Noodles has no idea about golf. Noodles would make a shitty caddy. Put it on the board. Noodles, you would make a shitty caddy. You need to know what club to give them. You give them good advice, good customer service, and they hook you up. Shit, we'd wake up early. We'd have like sleepovers with like me and a few of my buddies. And we'd wake up. This is the summertime, man. You're supposed to sleep in. The kids nowadays sleep in at noon. You know what time we'd wake up? We'd set the alarm clock. Bob, New Jersey, 6 a.m. We'd be down at the caddy shack at 7 a.m. getting our first loop in. By probably 7:30 to 8 a.m., get my first loop in. That's 18 holes. Make like $30 to $40 cash. It's back in the 80s. And then we'd walk to the village, go to the pizzeria, you know, the New Jersey pizza. Get a couple slices, a Coke, go to the bathroom, you chill out in the air conditioning, right? And then we would say, hey, you want to go back? You want to go back and do another loop? Or you want to go to the pool? And be like, no, let's go back and do another one. That's how we were. That's how we were, Bob, New Jersey. Put it on the board. Put it on the board right now. Because this Noodles, he couldn't handle anything. You think this Dave 25 can do a loop? What's a loop? It means 18 holes. It means you got to walk, you fat fuck, for 18 holes. It means they hit the ball. You got to see where the ball goes, and you walk to the fucking ball. and then you wipe off the club, and then you recommend. You say, oh, okay, you're about 220 yards from the hole. I recommend maybe a 3-wood, because you're on the fucking, you're on the, you know what I'm saying. You're on the fairway. These motherfuckers can't do shit, Bob. Huh. This fucking Dave 25. No, what I'm saying is, at that age, you couldn't have a regular type job, until you were 15. 12, 13, 14, and then 15. But I made more money caddying. So back in 1988, when I was 15, you know what the minimum wage was in New Jersey? $3.35 an hour. Okay? So check it out. Because I did work for a little bit at Baskin Robbins, my town, for $3.35 an hour for a couple months. So check it out. Say you work 3 hours, $3.35 times 3. So what, $10? Okay, if you do 2 bags, 2 golf bags, that's a double loop, right? You're getting 20 a bag. Maybe it was 25 a bag. And plus tip. Yeah. And back then, I was a nice kid. I wasn't like an old dick now. I was a nice kid. So you go above and beyond. You're scrubbing their golf balls and the golf ball machine. You're helping them out. You know what I mean? You're doing the little extras. So you want to scoop ice cream and make $10 before tax for 3 hours, or you want to do caddying for 3-4 hours and make almost $100. You tell me, Bob, New Jersey. Woo! Quit your job right now and become a caddy. Because Bob knows what I'm talking about. And was that hard work? Yes. Well, it was the heat, really. Hot summers. But I was in the golf. I was a golfer. I mean, I had been golfing for a couple of years. Wasn't really a golfer. I would go to the, I would go to the driving range, So I'm not saying I was a golfer, but tried. All right, folks, I'll be back. I'm going to do guitar. I'll be back. Bob, I'll be back in an hour.